I wanted to touch on a few things today. Number one being, we're going to talk about President Joe Biden tapping into or allowing the White House the ability to authorize the use of emergency diesel reserve to ease the supply crunch and possibly alleviate some of these rapidly increasing diesel prices we're seeing and limit the possibility of diesel fuel shortages along the East Coast. But before I get into that, also want to thank everybody for watching the videos and subscribing to the channel and sharing the videos. Everybody who joined in the live stream yesterday, thank you so much. And also to everybody in the Facebook group. It's continuously growing and everybody is sharing and engaging with one another. And I think it's being a huge help to the entire community. So thank you guys so much for that. But number one, there are billionaires out there who obviously are not worried about the current situations that we're in and the struggles that most people are going to face financially. These include Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, his wife, Bill Gates' wife as well. And what they're doing right now, and there's others included, but what they're doing right now is they are actually investing in farmland, U.S. farmland, and they may actually be investing in farmland in other countries. I think they see the direction that the country is going, the U.S. is going, and the threats and, basically what's going on in overseas, the wars, the conflicts, and how they affect us here at home. But you have to realize that, especially with Jeff Bezos looking to invest in farmland, there has to be a profitable reason why he wants to do this. Now, Bill Gates' reasoning for it may be a little bit different, but Jeff Bezos, I feel as though his reasoning for wanting to invest in farmland is profit driven. And then it's going to be a new form of labor that obviously the conditions that he has in place or he put in place because he's no longer in charge at Amazon, they're not the best working conditions for the hundreds of thousands of employees that they've assumed or amassed since they have started and grown to this conglomerate massive level of control. But I want you guys to pay attention to what's going on, who's buying what, and their intentions, especially those that are being shared with us, because we know that what is not being shared with us is probably more disturbing than what we're actually reading and hearing and seeing. Beyond that, the hurricane season is coming. It is actually going to be here. The hurricane season starts in June. June 1st is the beginning of the hurricane season, and the meteorologists are forecasting that we are on track for probably one of the worst hurricane seasons since Katrina, and that was 2005. And they're saying that basically the storm systems and the air temperatures and the pressures and everything that's needed in order to basically create these monstrous hurricane storms that can devastate communities and people and their lives are, more than likely going to happen this hurricane season. Now, with that being said, be smart. Come on, guys. Let's be smart. I know you guys are smart, so I'm not saying you're not and you haven't been, but I'm just reminding you to continue to be smart and make smart moves and decisions. Be prepared. Plan ahead. Watch the news. Watch the forecast. Make sure you have plenty of food and water. Make sure you have an evacuation plan if need be. You have somewhere to go. Make sure you don't wait to the last minute and then, it's a mad dash to try to get out of town or get fuel, which you already know we're having struggles with fuel. If we do see hurricanes or the likelihood of a severe threat of hurricanes, food prices are going to go through the roof. Food availability is going to be a struggle. We're probably going to see food shortages and empty shelves as people go out and bulk buy and hoard and panic buy fuel, gas, diesel. That's going to be a struggle as well too. So I want you guys to know now, today is Monday, May 23rd. So I'm giving you guys a heads up. I'm not saying that June 1st we're going to have a hurricane. What I'm saying is June 1st begins the hurricane season, and we should be mindful of what could be potentially coming, especially they're saying between Texas and Florida, basically the Gulf Coast. So just A little heads up, a little forewarning. Now, the White House weighs using emergency diesel reserves to ease the the supply crunch. Now, this is a little misleading. Again, we got to ask: is this like intentional? Because we have all these problems, coming our way, one after another, as we move closer to midterm elections. And then as we get closer to midterm elections, we start to see a little bit more cognitive thinking and actions being taken to solve said problems. So could we have not avoided these problems? Or would that have not been as impressive to the voters in comparison to creating the problems and then fixing them? I actually know some people, and it's really strange and really odd, and this is in business, and they actually purposely create problems in business to solve them, to make their position or further justify and promote themselves as being vital and crucial and critical and very important to the company, what they make, how much they get paid, where they could just do a great job and never create a problem to be fixed, but they would rather get the accolades and get the recognition, like, oh my God, you saved the day. Well, you also ruined the day, but you fixed it. So hooray. But I wonder if this is going on in with the politicians and the lawmakers. We're hurting our people, we're hurting the U.S. citizens, we're hurting our country, we're hurting our economy, we're hurting the emotion of everyone and their willingness to push on by continuously beating them down with problem after problem after problem. Food shortages, supply chain issues, high gas prices, high diesel prices, diesel shortages, high interest rates, high real estate prices, all this stuff. It's beat them down, and then, oh, well, let's help you with this. Let's help with this, and let's fly in some baby formula from the UK, and let's tap into these oil reserves and help with inflation and gas prices and things like that. But it says the Biden administration has tapped the nation's stockpile of emergency oil called the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to help deal with the rising energy prices. It currently contains 420 million barrels of crude oil. Now, this is a little confusing to me because our issue isn't with the price or supply of oil. Our issue right now is with the availability and the amount of refineries, particularly dedicated to the East Coast, that can produce the fuel from the crude oil. So, I mean, that's really the problem we're facing. And, so it sounds like you're doing a great job there, Joe, but I don't really think this is actually going to solve, you solved the problem that we didn't have. It's not the crude oil, it's the refineries or lack thereof. And if you check out the PADD regions, and this is the Petroleum Administration for Defense Districts, and PAD 1 is East Coast. That is where you're going to see the amount or the millions of barrels of refined fuel that is available to the East Coast. And it's not so much crude oil, it's the ability for the refineries. And they're just not producing. We don't have as many as we used to, number one. And then number two, the ones that we do have, they're not producing as much as they used to keep up with the demand. And the demand has skyrocketed since the pandemic as we're continuously trying to push out product and food and vehicles, cars, trucks, everything, lumber to build houses and all sorts of stuff, as we're trying to get caught back up, so it's a noble effort. I appreciate the gesture, but I don't really know if it's exactly what we need right now which is going to really bring some form of actionable solution to the people by lowering fuel prices of gas and diesel. Diesel now, like I'm hearing, diesel's like $7 a gallon up north, and reducing the threat of a diesel shortage, and just improving our economy overall. Because I mean, we're struggling, and moving towards this summer, the future is grim. We don't have a lot of positive things to look forward to. We have a lot of negative. And that's just for the fact that, farmers can't get the fuel they need. If they do, it's more expensive. They can't get the inputs they need to produce or at least begin to harvest for the upcoming season, which, we'll see those effects possibly next year, which could be devastating. We still have a semiconductor chip problem as far as getting vehicles completed and delivered. Also helping with the price of these, because as the supply of cars and trucks continuously stay low, the demand stays high, the price stays high too. We have seen lumber come down in price, which is encouraging, but we're also kind of seeing a slowdown in the real estate and housing market, in new builds, in resales, and this is tied to the interest rates going up. On top of the already highly inflated real estate appraised home values. And, the Fed, Jerome Powell, he's trying to curb inflation after having pumped in with the money printer, after having pumped in so much money into the economy through stimulus. Now we're trying to curb it. It's a fine line. It's a delicate little dance you have to play here, because you can't just flip the switch off and flip it back on again. And they're trying to flip it back on again to slow down inflation and try to alleviate some of these struggles and these pressures that we're seeing. But it's having an inverse reaction, and those in the market are pulling back. The S&P is down to like the lowest levels it's ever seen. Like, we're heading towards a bear market, and the crypto market is down. Like, everything, we're literally about to hit rock bottom. So maybe on the bright side, the beauty of it is, when we do hit rock bottom, hey, nowhere to go but up from here, Maybe that's the plus. But you guys let me know, comment below. I do appreciate it. Thanks for engaging in the community posts and in the Facebook group and sharing. We're at 8,000 subscribers. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it. Thank you guys so much for your support. I couldn't do it without you. And I'll bring you another update real soon. Take care, be safe, and do your best to prepare yourself, your family, your friends, even those who don't really want to hear what you have to say. Just, don't shove it down their throat, but spread the word a little bit. Not everybody needs to be a stockpile prepper and have a bunker and a 12-month supply, but everybody should hear the message and at least be like, you can't say I didn't warn you, Maybe they'll come around and then you can help them see the way and do their best to save some money, make some more money, stockpile some food and water, some dry goods, just to be prepared. If they're on the coast, give them a heads up about the possibility of some severe weather coming this hurricane season. Just overall, let's try to help each other, because that's what's going to get us through this. The fastest and the best way possible is if we actually work together and help each other. So take care. See you guys soon. Bye.